Well, hello, good evening, and welcome back to Jackocar. It is the Kia series, and you're joining me, Gareth Hall, in the commentary box once again. And we are now at round 6 over in the USA at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And joining me for tonight, hopefully you can all hear me. If you can, jump in the comments, let me know. Always does help. But hopefully joining me tonight is that man you can see on screen, that fetching man in those lovely shorts and boots. It is Mr. Yuri Haselaga. Hello, Yuri.
Hello, Gareth. See, I rate the effort you put into this image using generative AI, but I cannot help but see that you're not giving yourself the same treatment.
No, I wasn't wearing that hat in my my picture.
I'm pretty sure you were. And also, you're always coming out positive, whilst I'm always being stereotypically, racistly abused.
Look, I quite like to question why you thought that knee-high boots was appropriate in your Ajax shirt in what I think was your workplace.
Well, in all fairness, Ajax are a bunch of farmers, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so looking forward to it as hopefully you can all hear. Leslie says slightly quiet. Don't worry, I'll turn myself up a little bit.
Turn yourself on a little bit.
Yeah, so it's the same thing as last time actually. I don't quite know why. I've got myself turned right up, but I'll doubly turn myself up on both the mic and there we go. That should be a bit better.
Fucking hell.
If it's, yeah, I was gonna say I've turned my mic up by 10, so I am trying to balance it out. But do let us know if that's a little bit better. Matthew.
I'm being raided. Sorry. Ja?
Wie de fuck denk je dat je bent?
Oh, okay. Leave me alone. I'm commentating.
Does he not know that we're professionals?
I know, right? What the fuck?
Right. Well, tonight, you know the format. There you go on screen. Qualifying is underway. We will go to it very, very shortly. But there are your points. There's your format. There are your player points. There's the drivers that will be going for it, apart from the scrubs that have made it in from the Cup Series to flesh out the league. Here's the calendar. Of course, it is tonight, 26th of March, which makes it Las Vegas. Round 6, 50%. That's 25 laps. As you can see on screen, last pole time of 32.893. That was taken by Danny Quinn, who went on to win the race as well. Quali times, well, it is currently Vitinho making his return to the league out on circuit. We will go with him very, very shortly. In fact, let's go with him now, just to give him a little bit of screen time as he comes up to he's midway through the second sector. So let's have a look at Mr. Souza out on track, and I think one of the drivers that was caught up in the ridiculous crash on this very straight last time we were here last season. I think it was round 11. It was on the round info that I've literally just had up, but who pays attention to that? But I think Victor was caught up in an incident there. He tends to run around without a front wing, but on a track like Las Vegas, it doesn't harm you all that much. But Yuri, Vitinho up to the line. Benchmark is a 1:33.569.
That is only 7/10 slower than last season's pole lap, so he'll be starting well towards the front, I imagine, as we go towards the next driver, who is, according to my list,
washed. Oh, sorry.
And that as well. But Thomas, I'll see that Ben Spurs is on a lap though, and he's going towards the final real braking zone, into the left-hander, right-hander, over the curb, as you do, and straight towards the final run. And I noticed that he has still quite a lot of ERS left, so wonder whether he forgot to turn it on. But he goes only 100 quicker than last season's pole time, and therefore he is proficiently P1.
Yes, as Michael Okeke retires from the session on his quali lap as well. So Michael,
expecting great things from Double OKK, but here we go.
As a frequently what I'd hear from my old football coach, as a good friend of mine next to me would just get screamed Michael, so I'm just going to pass that on to OKK. Another driver that's too slow for Cup, that's dropped down for the full-time run here in Keir, is Michel Goris. And you know what that means? It means that it's time for Michel's quali lap. You know what that means? It's time for something like this to be on screen. Let's all appreciate the next, like, half a lap or so. You can care about Michel's lap or not. I don't really care, but for those that actually want to pay attention to what's going on screen, of course, this is the Champions League semi-final. It's Ajax versus Spurs. It's 2-2 in the final minute of the game. The Ajax fans singing along in their silly little language. Michel, he would have been there too. He would have been cheering, "Yay, we're going to get to a Champions League final. We're going to do it. We're going to do it." And, well, I'll just let what plays out play out, as we're actually we'll stick with Michel's lap for the end of this, and stick with the final sort of clips of this, because I was a little bit late. I wasn't expecting Michel to be so far down. What's he going to do across the line? It's a 33.186. That puts him provisionally into P2. But of course, we're all here for what happens in the next 30 seconds. As no one's on a fast lap right now anyway, so you don't really need to pay attention. So we can actually pay attention to this. And I know Leroy Hasselager will be watching along too. And this moment here, just flicked around, nodded on. Oh, you've got to love it. Breaking the hearts of Dutchmen all over Amsterdam. Tottenham make the Champions League final. Ajax crash out at home. What a beautiful scene that was.
I'll have you know that this was one of the best nights of my life. So very well outplayed as well, and I absolutely love every bit of it.
Scott,
especially that guy there on the flat bits who's like, "Shit, fuck, no."
I like if you go back and watch that in the front, literally the front row, there's a guy holding an Ajax flag that's like proper going mental, and then as the goal goes in, he like has a proper little paddy hissy fit, and he's like stamping his feet. Oh, it's so good.
Oh no, I just like
So
the guy
good.
who was on that flat bit who stood there. He was just stamping away like, "Fuck, no, shit, no."
Scott Hayes going for the ultra low downforce setup tonight.
Yeah, I noticed. That was a strategy debated whether it would be beneficial.
Well,
so I guess we'll see.
We saw Danny Quinn do it on his quali lap last season. Of course, he down this straight here, he banged the wall to lose a little bit of an end plate to give him some a quicker run down to the flag. But let's see if this car actually stops. Well, Scott's broke.
That's the Fernando Alonso tactic.
He's gone. Scott decided to take the braking point about 3 miles before he got there, just to make sure the car stops. But well, there goes pole. There goes second. There goes third. Up to the line. It's a 37.927 for Mr. Hayes. Liam New out on a lap as well. He's coming around towards the end of the second sector. Evil, who was bemoaning the track earlier. Usually people do that when they're shit at the game, rather than just dealing with what is effectively an oval with a couple of kinks. It's an oval if someone squashed it in their hands, is the Las Vegas track. Up to the final 2 corners, penultimate one down now, and then of course the final one is sort of on a kink. Of course the grid on the corner itself, up to the flag, and it is a 33.4384 for Mr. New, and Barry Baldwin now out on circuit.
Indeed he is. As the professional that I am, I'm right on board with him. Just now, on the same place where we caught up with Ben Spurs. So it's just 3 corners and a kink, which we all love to see. As Baza brakes a lot later than Scott, as you do. Now, easy on the throttle there, not lose the rear. And just through the gears towards this corner. Towards the corner, try and be over the curb, stay as much far left as you can. And Baza's P5.
Bazo's been not really in the qualifying spirit so far this season. One man that has actually shown up a couple of times. He's tended to be a bit woeful come the races, but I tell you what, actually, that Shep does better in the Cup Series than he does in the Kia Series. Not obviously.
Funny how that works.
It's weird, isn't it, when you actually drive with competent drivers, you actually drive like one.
Yeah. So you're meaning to say that whenever he drives here, he's a twat?
Well, I'm just saying that he makes a lot more mistakes when he's surrounded by people that continuously make mistakes.
Interesting.
But genuinely, I mean, like until he binned it early on in Brazil, he was doing quite well. I think earlier in the season he qualified quite well. I can't remember what track it was. Imola or something like that. I think he had a good quali run as well. So we know he can be up there. It's just being consistent. But it's looking as though it's going to be around about a front row, maybe just off it for Shep. A 33.313 puts him onto the provisional second row of the grid, with Dustin Rolko now out on his flying lap. One of the drivers tonight that is already into the playoffs, already advanced, I believe, and him, the likes of Daniel Pilwina, as of course he'll be on a Joker tonight. So will Florian Meyer, and so will Michael Okeke. Of course, Okeke retiring from the session a little bit earlier. But Florian, 2 more corners left to go. Of course, he's going down the Las Vegas Strip, past all the hotels that, of course, aren't allowed to be named on the game, so they're just called Las Vegas. But, of course, some absolutely iconic locations around here. Not that any of you will know, because I'm sure you're all too poor to go to Las Vegas. All you povos and peasants out there. Crumbing up to the line, Dustin, 35.316. Good old 316 there. Stone Cold says you start 7th. But now out on circuit is Jacko, Florian and Risky. Yuri, which of the 3 of them is actually doing a quali lap?
All of them. But the one we're looking at is Sully.
Okay, good. I'm glad you know.
No, it's Florian.
Okay.
My bad, it's Florian.
Well, what is the point of view here if you can't give me the correct information?
Well, I can go back on track if you want me to. Then you can give me another disappointed, yeah, Yuri won.
Well, I don't know what's worse, actually.
So you let me know what you'd rather have.
Oh, God. Well, Florian's about to cross the line anyway, so there he goes. It's 32.941, so 0.06 of a second slower than Ben Harrett. Ben Harrett, of course, who is shithousing winning the chase to get into the Championship 5 once again in the Cup Series.
Stat betting.
And we, of course, hate a stat padder. Another one of those is Sullivan Lewis, a 33.173, dropping down to the Cup Series to get some extra practice in for the Cup Series. But Jacko, a driver that has been so underwhelming this season that we've almost completely ignored him, and what you would have thought would be one of the favourites coming into the season is barely, if I don't think he's even under, I think he's still under the cut line. If not, he's definitely just above it. He's been that crap this season, and it's down to absolutely nothing, because apart from a couple of Cup Series coming in and sort of like scuffing their way to some decent results, there's been no reason that Jacko has been so far down. A 33.288 put in P5. He's made it home on time. It is a man running under the pain of death of running an Aston Martin livery. He's actually got Lawrence Stroll standing behind him with a pistol, saying you have to run the Aston Martin green, or else you're fired. Why don't you take us for a tour around the circuit with Newgarden, Yuri?
Well, I'm not very much of a tour guide, not very well at it, but I just know that Matt Rosamond is so old that it is said that he was the inspiration behind dogs. He apparently suggested the idea to the Lord Almighty God himself. And when God found out that they're just tiny little creatures compared to dinosaurs, he decided to nuke them. So, boo for destroying dinosaurs, thanks for dogs, I guess. Anyway, into the final couple of corners as Matt Rosamond goes. He is looking decent for a first time back into the Kia series after a long while. As we go towards the final corner, which is not really a corner, but much more of a corner than turn 2 in Austria, I guess. Should have been more to the left, Matt. It's 10th place, 1.8 seconds off pole.
As next one out, we've got both Jess and Harry Collier on the lap. And then, of course, we've got Daniel Price starting his no Robin Border tonight. He decided to go MIA, and so is not currently involved in the qualifying session, as there is yellow flags out for Dustin, as yellow flags also out for Jacko. Don't worry, that's actually him driving at full speed as well. Jess up to the line. What can she do? It is a 33.846. Jess, who equally isn't really lighting up the timing sheets in qualifying this season, but has managed to get herself into the fight for the regular season championship. So just shows you that that's very much a slow and steady wins the race, because she's not in the Tesco Club Card Shootout, which Yuri hopefully has the bracket for, because I certainly don't.
Well, listen, I actually do.
God, thank God for that, because I couldn't find it anywhere.
It's in the chat. It was posted about 5 minutes after we underwent quali, so great. Anyway, next up, Harry. Matt Lester's favorite dude has an invalidation.
He'll be at the back with Thomas and OKK.
Next!
Over to Daniel Price, another man on his Joker, one of our 3 this evening, and the last one to navigate this Las Vegas circuit. Down the strip now. He's going to have to ignore the fact that there was a car just off the end of it. I think that was Newgarden that was, for some reason, had just pinged out of existence, but up to the final corner very, very shortly for Dan. And what can he do coming through? Looking though it's going to challenge maybe the second row. It is second row. It's 33 that puts him P3 as 33.079. But it is Ben Harrett who surprisingly to absolutely no one takes pole position by 600ths of a second. Florian, who I think actually could be a Cup Series driver next season,
absolutely
is in P2. Dan in P3, which is equally another driver that could potentially take a spot in the Cup Series. Will replace him for Wace, who will inevitably have been banned by then. Risky P4, Michel P5, Jacko P6. Then we've got Matt Shepard, Evil, Vitinho, and Jess are your top 10. Outside of that, Bazza, Newgarden, Fozzie, Scott the last times, and then without a time, OKK, Harry, and Thomas Nevitt. Qualifying session over. Who are we waiting for? Everyone's finished.
Harry.
Oh, of course it's Harry. Come on, Harry.
Wow, that's rude.
But
what do you mean, of course it's Harry?
But don't retire on circuit, because we'll give you a penalty. But if you could just speed up a
Even though
little
you're
bit.
the last out there.
Oh yeah, don't make
speed
sure
limit?
you don't speed into the pit lane, Harry.
Pretty sure you get like a 5-place grid drop if you do that, Harry.
Don't want to upset the stewards, do we, Harry? Right, that's qualifying done.
Just retire.
We
got better things to do on a Tuesday night.
No, it's fine. What we'll do is we'll send them to adverts early, because then we'll be on the grid, and of course we've got everyone to stand up for the national anthem. So
But you don't want to do the running through the grid thing?
Oh, I'll do it when they're on the formation lap. It's fine.
Neat. Let's go.
Who cares? Right, we'll see you in a bit, guys. We'll be back after these ads.
here we go. Whoa. You don't have to go with me this time.
What about the wolves?
Don't forget about the grizzlies.
Kia, movement that inspires.
And now, if you all please rise for the American national anthem, as sung by Friends of Yuri.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so held as twilight at the last gleaming rose track, who brought us fight o'er the rapids we were stream and the rocket's red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave to the night that the stars were still there, or still yet wait, brave and the home of the free.
Thank you very much, Yuri. Where are you finding these people? What is fucking paying you? Anyway, right.
Now, listen. I respect the Force and the people who carry badges and stuff because they earned it. Also, funny note, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with 7 of you guys, but why are you leaving during ad breaks? Ad breaks are literally the highlight of this event.
Are they
of this
leaving?
night.
There was people leaving during the ad breaks.
We were at 15,
Right.
and then we dropped down to 6 to 8 as soon as we went to the ad breaks.
Right, fuck
They're
you.
great.
Fuck you, I'm going to pay another one. Right, off we go. Right, here we go. Right, you're going to sit through this.
Static control has never been easier with the bounce dryer bar.
No, you don't get the formation app. Who cares?
And I never have to remember.
Fuck the calling results as well. You can see them on the screen when we return.
Yeah,
It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials.
you get to watch Terry Crews instead.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's another one gone.
Power.
Right, screw you all. We make the rules here. If we run ads, it's so that we can take a break, and so we don't have to listen and watch all of the crap that's going off on this. 25 laps we've got to deal with this. Right, honestly, the last race drove me to drink. As Sully's trying to take the lead.
Is this a bad way to say that I'm always two beers down?
Not
Ah, shit.
not when your normal nightly drinking is 8.
I usually don't drink during the week, so imagine what kind of mental battle I'm trying to have here.
You should try what I do after watching a Kia race. It's drinking, but it's bleach. It's the only way.
All I hear is your wife saying, "Can you calm down now?" And you're like, "Oh, redemption, salvation, thank you."
She wants nothing to do with me after watching a Kia race because I'm just miserable. Absolutely, just pure misery being in here.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for your week. It probably looks like some affection and some love on Monday, and then a week of disgust after Tuesday.
Right.
And if you perform well at Thursday, you can come upstairs and sleep in the big bed again instead of on the couch.
Oh my God.
Why is there a massive gap, by the way? Jacko and Buzza. Jeez. Buzza! For fuck's sake, dude!
I mean, there's chaos. It's absolute chaos. Who's that that's just driven into someone? Is that... Oh, Michael? No? We're all checking up for no reason?
There's massive gaps forming again. Victor, get a move on.
Gotta love that Brazilian connection, haven't you? I'm sure that was the cause. I'm pretty sure that was the cause of the crash last time. As unfortunately, my colleague has, by the sound of it, a large animal alongside him.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what you can call Leroy sometimes.
going on board there with Vitinho, who was weaving, was actually giving me motion sickness. I'm quite close to what is quite a big screen, so that's very aggressive. But well, as you saw, it is Ben Spurs from Florian Marr, from Daniel Price, from Sullivan Lewis, Michelle Gorish, Jack Ricketts, Matt Shepherd, Liam New, Victor Souza, Jess Ball are your top 10. Barry Baldwin, Matt Roseman, Dustin Rolko, Scott Hayes, Michael Okeke, Harry Collier, and Thomas Nevitt. I learn names here. We don't use your stupid PSNs. Please bring in a system where I don't have to. Nice try, Bazza. I appreciate that. I do. I try to do the same thing. Right, let's kick it off.
Okay.
25 laps here of Las Vegas. Who's going to be the next one into the playoffs automatically? Or will it all go to nothing and Ben Harriott wins the race? We'll find out very, very shortly, because off and underway goes Ben Harriott. We're getting a shot from the back of the grid, so there we go. Finally, we can see that Ben Harriott's going to take the run. Gets the whole shot into turn 1. Florian P2. Dan Price is fighting away. In fact, no, it's not. It's Sully and Michel that are fighting away over P3 and P4. Michel takes the inside line, of course, on the soft tyres. Sully on the medium, so he's going to go longer in the first step. That's behind. That's Matt Shepherd going to the inside of Jacko. We've already got Thomas and Scott out this race, and oh, for fuck's sake, what a crash. And it all took
That was
2 corners.
A buzz into the walls, sliding on across the track and collecting Scott and Thomas. So that's great. I can just draw 2 cars on the list that I have to pay attention to for pit stop. So thank you, Buzza. Appreciate it, bud.
Right, I am looking forward to Scott's message in the chat very shortly of CBA, because
yeah, I'll keep an eye on that.
Yep, so looking forward to that one. Just whilst we're under safety car, but we've got plenty of time, I'd just like to say, and this is completely unrelated, and this is actually quite serious tonight, so I'd like to say happy Purple Day to everyone that is raising money for those, of course, that have epilepsy. Something that I grew up with, and a very personal thing to me, and I know to many other people around the world that will be raising money for charity here. If you want to donate, please do make sure you go over and check out the likes of the NCYPE, the National Centre for Young People with Epilepsy, or of course youngepilepsy.co.uk, where you can donate anything for everyone that is suffering with not only major but also mild forms of epilepsy, which can take many, many different forms, from absences to seizures to just little quirks of personality. But yeah, my heart and my feelings goes out to everyone that has it and everyone that does. You are not alone. There is support out there, and I hope you're all having a great Purple Day. But safety car out, lap 2 of 25. Ben Harriott from Florian, from Dan Price, from Michel Goris. Sully is literally, apparently, according to the timing, sitting on top of Michel's lap, but we can see that's not quite the case. And Matt Shepherd is 2 minutes behind, so gotta love the fact that this game still hasn't been fixed, and it's been 3 game cycles since this was an issue.
Yeah, I have 2 things to say. The first one is that whenever there's a formation lap, this thing appears to be happening. Still though, Jacko, we want a formation lap. We need it. We'll get through this. It's no problem. It'll fix itself after 2 laps. It's fine. Second of all, that's a good shout out. I had a dog who had epilepsy. It's not a pleasant experience to watch, well, in this case a dog, but I guess a person, go through seizures. It is very scary. And also I had an encounter in the store that I work in, where someone had an epileptic attack while I was at work. It was also not very pleasant. So yeah, good shout out, very much deserving of the attention and the time that you've given it. And I did not know that you had that.
I know. I'm not ashamed of it either. I don't tend to bring it up. I see myself as being one of the fortunate ones, as I actually grew out of mine. So I had mine from when I was 9 years old, and I think I stopped taking medication. I mean, you're never cleared. I technically still have an irregular brain pattern, which explains a lot. But when I was about 16 or 17, I think I was about 16 years old. So I'm very much one of the lucky ones, but did have tonic-clonic seizures, so I did have the whole body jerking. But mine were at night.
Shaking and stuff.
Yeah, so mine were at night,
Oh,
so
wow.
they would be as I was waking up.
Oh, so there's so many people who are helping you out there
Yeah,
at that point.
yeah. Well,
Great.
yeah, it's a fascinating thing to actually study if you look into, because epilepsy can literally just be an irregular brain pattern. So quite a lot of people actually have it, and you don't realise until much later in age. So yeah, do go out and check it. I really do think it's a good thing to go out and be aware of, because as you said, Yuri. And we're actually being quite serious about that. It's to know how to deal with someone that's having an epileptic seizure is very important. So if you are on Matt Roseman's just absolutely shellacked the wall coming out of the final corner there. Not quite sure that's going to help you, Matt.
Well, at least he's still rotating, unlike Baza. Dude, just stay out.
Oh,
You're lost anyway. Survive a lap without a front wing. Use your lap 4 manual of mandatory safety car slot. Stop wasting tires.
yeah. Unless he's going to go.
I swear to God.
I don't know what the strat is, because you would have thought that would have been putting it on a set of hards rather than a set of mediums and getting to the first.
There's only two people of which I understand the medium or the hard strategy, and that is Florian and Dan, second and third. Not in that order, actually. And Michael, who is last, so you might as well start on hards. But anyway, that's not the point.
That is true.
I don't understand what Matt's doing, nor what Sully's doing. Like, you want to bin off that first stop as soon as possible.
Generally, or in this race? Because I don't understand them either. I mean, that's because Matt's old and Sully's from Mansfield.
I'd like to take the fifth on that. What I don't like to take the fifth on, by the way, is that you pointed out that there were a lot of Las Vegas hotels and casinos and stuff. Whenever we go through the final corner and you have a few on the inside, and I don't mean the actual, I mean the final braking corner, and you have a few on the inside, have a look at what the wall says if we're on the safety car again. I spotted something like Much Burger.
Much Burger is on there. We've also got, I think it's like hotel amusements and something else like.
Yeah, Las Vegas Boutique.
Yeah, it's
or something.
I just don't know why they couldn't get at least one or two like.
Oh, here we go. Triple tacos, greasy biscuits, DNC fine for something. Restaurants. Ah, there we go.
Greasy Biscuit sounds like a store that you can only go in after 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. It's a bit like the banana bar here. Oh, we're still on the safety car, and here we go. Now people are being sensible. I wrote down Michel and Jacko, lap 3, mandatory pit stops.
Onto hard tyres for Michel, so that's a long first stint he's going for. That's a soft, hard, soft, which is Michel on a Friday night in Amsterdam. But
sorry,
Jacko's
as if he can do it twice in a row. Sorry.
Jacko's gone medium, Harry's gone medium, Jess has gone medium as well. So they've all gone for the yellow sidewall tyre, whereas Michel is going to be suffering with that slower tyre, which around here does actually take quite a while to heat up. So
at least he can weave left, right, and center under the safety car, so I guess that helps.
He can. So hopefully you guys are all enjoying it. 8 of you watching along. That's
It was down to 6 when the race started, so that ad break really took its toll.
Well, I don't care. It adds.
Who doesn't want to watch that sexy bald man?
It adds to the stream. It makes it better. Who wants to sit and just listen to commentators? Just like they've already just told you what the qualifying results are. The fact that you then just have to wrap it up immediately, and then also when it comes to the race, they say and starting in first. So you might as well not repeat yourself 3 times. Safety car still out. Lap 4 of 25. Of course, the pit window is open. So at the end of lap 3, everyone could have made their stop. So you've seen that 4 cars have done so. Bazza is not one of them, though, which is fascinating that he's gone for a non-mandatory.
I bet he is
early.
really hitting his forehead at the moment. Like, I'm such a stupid something.
Yeah, and you can't follow the safety car in. So they cannot come in on this lap. Thomas Devitt leaves us for the evening.
Oh, there's massive bunching up. This is going to be great.
Well, Thomas Devitt, sorry,
Yep,
Ben
that's
Harrett.
what I mean.
Have we got checking up? Oh, we have. What is happening here? And this is where they're all going to start crying in the Twitter chat after. It's like, oh, you can't
Matt's
go
going to
so
say
slow.
that people were driving so unnecessarily slow, but he should have
You've
braked
got
more.
nothing to do with what's happening at the front. Everyone doesn't. This is what we were saying. There is no need to be this close to each other. You can
Well,
get.
they weren't close to each other because there was massive field spread.
Right. It's just like you do not need to be sitting on their gearbox, because all it happens if you sit on the gearbox, that as soon as the first person goes into the box comes Vitinho. That's not a mandatory stop, even though
Noted.
even though he's gone for it.
He will lead a lap though, right?
Yes.
I'll just note it down.
Yes, you will. So, Ben Harrett
That's an interesting strat.
gets an illegal blocking. So he is too slow. So there you go. There's a bit of experimentation for you. That you cannot drive that slowly. I think that's because Funky was too close behind him. I don't think that's because he was driving so slowly. It's because the car was in such close proximity that caused the incident. So that's a shame for Ben Harrett, but he's fast enough to make up 5 seconds on these guys. There's absolutely sent into the middle of absolutely fucking nowhere was Newgarden there. He dives down the escape road, and he reappears in 15th position. Risky now up to P2. He's got past Dan Price, of course, on the hard tyres. So Risky moving up now to P2. Evil is next one on the attack, as these guys all weaving around, as that's slightly dangerous. Matt Shepherd's up the inside of Evil. Lovely move there. And Liam, that's all your fault. That was a clean move made by Matt Shepherd, and Liam's just turned him into the wall. Should have backed out of it. Well, there's once again we're gonna have a massive crash at some point down this straight, because all these guys don't know how to race with each other. Matt Shepherd's still trying to go down the inside of Evil. He's alongside him. He once again gets down the inside of him. Liam's gonna hang it round the outside, and he's actually learned how to drive like a normal person, but the guys in front haven't, because that's 2 cars into the wall. That is OKK, and that is Dustin Rolko.
I was about to say up the Michael for a very aggressive, forceful move, but then he forgot that to leave space on the outside. So GG Michael. Interesting though about this is that after a spin at the sphere section, Florian isn't the only Joker driver in the pits right now.
Yeah. So OKK gives up the Joker. He's onto a set of softs. So can't go to the end on those. Won't go to the end on those. As you say, Florian, a set of mediums, probably not going to make the end of this one either. So he was on the hards, had to go on to something else, so he can try and stretch the mediums out as long as possible, but they ain't making the flag from here. Jacko now on the back of Bazza. Bazza, who we know likes to make his cards 6.5 miles wide when anyone is going on the offensive, even if it harms his own race. But that makes it even more fun.
I don't understand you. You're like, oh, come on, guys, defend. Give us something to watch at. And then Bazza gives you something to watch at, and you're complaining.
True. Right. Michel's going past Evil. Behind, Jacko's about to go past Bazza. So we will try and we'll just double check to make sure there's no death here. Liam's going to try and get the switchback on Michel after going down the inside. There's a yellow flag out for Matt Shepherd, who has gone into the wall. There's Bazza has a big tank slapper on exit there, but gathers it back up. Risky now leading this one, because into the box comes Ben Harrett. He will serve that 5-second time penalty as well, so he'll drop right to the back of the field. After doing so, that releases Risky. Risky, who also, I believe, led that lap, so that will be add 1 to his playoff point tally.
But Sully already led before that. He actually got an on-track overtake somewhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so...
but we don't care.
Oh, Jacko. Jacko just about misses the back end of Liam there, as these guys all fighting out over position. Lap 7 of 25, as... you can see everyone filtering their way past the sphere, as Liam's still getting it wrong, and that allows Jacko to go down the inside of him. As behind, Bazza watching this all happen. He's got Harry Collier behind him as well. Jacko goes wide. He's going to have to cut back in front of Liam. Luckily, Liam sees him coming. It actually gives him some space, as you can see. Let's go on board with Harry. So we get this from Harry's POV. He's going to get, what, a triple dose of slipstream here. He does get some DRS, but it is Liam, I think, that's got the best use of DRS, and he's going to go around Jacko once again. Jacko peels back in, and probably won't try and go for the retake at the braking zone. In fact, what he's got is Bazza closing in on him, but Jacko can sit here and wait, knowing that he's made his stop. And Jacko is currently P2 on circuit net, having made a stop. Of course, Michel on up on P3. Into the box comes Liam. Hopefully that was valid. Looks as though he crossed the pit lane line, but
Up to the steward.
yeah, that is a steward's decision. I think that was a cut. But Vitinho, fastest lap of the race for him. He's now up into P7, sitting on the back of Harry Collier. The lead still sits at 1.1 seconds. That is Sullivan Lewis over Daniel Price. Michel Goris 2.3 seconds back. And then a train from Jacko all the way down to Vitinho. And Jess slowly trying to close her way back in to this lead battle. Yuri, what have you been watching?
Just pretty much the same as you, whilst keeping up with some admin, as Jacko likes to call it. What I did notice, though, is that even though Michel has made his first stop, he is second, net P2 after, right behind Dan. But even though his tires are fresher, he can't quite hang on. And even though, even weirder, Jacko is catching up to him. So Michel, get on with it, improve, be quicker. If Jacko overtakes you, we're gonna have some words. Sorry.
Oh, that's a yellow flag out for an absolute mess that's happening at the Sphere. Matt Shepherd, Ben Harrett, all around.
Ah, no. It's the Cup Reserve involved.
Vitinho brings out a safety car. And
On the straight again.
where's that happened? Is there a car in the middle of the track? Or is it already pinged out of existence? It's so far down the straight. How are you crashing here for 2 races in a row?
Well, looking at the tire marks on the track, he went to the right wall, then the left wall, and then halted somewhere in the middle.
Oh, God.
Liam is lucky, by the way, ran straight over some debris there.
Alright.
Anyway, pit stops.
Yeah,
Interesting, then.
Michel onto a set of, must be onto a set of mediums? No, softs and a front wing. So it's Michel that's had an issue. Because otherwise he wouldn't be taking a front wing, surely. But I'm sure he was at the front, so maybe he's just clouted the wall on his own.
That might be it.
Right, so Risky comes out. He's made his stop. Jacko now the net race leader, with Harry Collier in net P2. Bazza is not net P3. OKK speeds into the pit lane under the safety car. Michael.
Yes, call him out for it.
Yeah. Jess.
So unnecessary.
So Jess is. So currently we're net. Jacko, Harry, and Jess. Then Sullivan, and then Dan would be your top 5. Bazza still needs to make 2 stops. So.
Bazza, what are you doing, dude?
Right.
Does he think that lap 1 pit stop is meant? No, he shouldn't. Nah.
He can't
Let's see.
do. Yeah.
Add that. Michael, where are you at? 8. That is.
Right, and I'd just like to say thank you very much to everyone that's actually paid attention to the Twitter chat earlier that is part of it and has liked the stream. If you are watching and you haven't liked it, I want to see that 10 click up. There's no reason not to like the stream. It does nothing for you, but it does everything for us. Of course, it helps out Jackocar. We get more views if a video gets more likes and more people chatting away. So even if you're talking garbage like waste, then feel free to jump in the comments and just chat away. Currently, we have got a race on between Jacko, Harry, and Jess, but of course, Risky on the softs is going for a much faster first stint, or second stint, sorry, after making that first stop. Liam back in P7. Michel now dropping down to P8 after that wing change. Fozzie and Funky are 9th and 10th. And then Ben Harrett and Matt Shepherd have just traded positions. That's because Ben Harrett is back into the pit lane. He's done a lap on the mediums. What's this? As a set of soft tyres. Thinking, well, I might as well go to the back and do some overtaking. Ben here pretty much to make up the numbers because Kia can't be bothered to turn up. But also at the back, showing that ART drivers are shit.
Not my words, not my words. I do stand by them though.
Let's ignore the fact that we've currently got Old Man Newgarden rotating around the circuit various different speeds. Clearly he's got the same braking issue that Fernando Alonso had this weekend. So he's in P13. OKK is in P14. He's just reserved his split lane. Oh, to be fair,
Spit lane.
That's what you do. That's what the VIPs do as the cars are driving underneath them as they come past them. And to me, I do that as Corey was driving underneath me, just gob on him. Right, so okay, he served his 5-second speeding into the pit lane penalty. So means nothing. It means that he does not need to worry about that. That at the end of the race, and of course he had already thrown away his Joker, and Michael, who finished on the podium last time we were here, has got a lot of work to do from P14, but lap 10 of 25, so still plenty of time to go racing. He's just about to catch the back of the pack, as you've got to think we might go back green this lap. Everyone is now back up with each other. Yuri, after what happened last time around, Jacko will be leading the restart. How many front wings are we going to lose on this restart?
Well, into the final braking zone, the field is much more compressed, so I expect not a lot of issues there. Looking at you, Matt. No, you're fine. Good. I don't guess a lot. No, just the first. I'm anticipating a turn 5 fuck up though. Someone's gonna go straight or into the wall. Probably it's Michel.
Oh, that'd be nice. Right, Jacko gets us underway. Goes early. There's a rarity to see in Jackocar these days. Is actually someone actually going early. Goes as soon as you can. Yellow flags out, but for a ghost, someone running across the circuit with a just up oil board at the chicane at the end of the strip.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Kieran!
he can't help himself. But there we go. There's the yellow. Oh, they've made their way to turn 1 as well. Right. So and another safety car.
No, safety. Look at Jacko. 2 more laps and he's equal on most laps led. Fuck's sake. Actually, I didn't count this one. So 3 more laps and he's equal on laps led. 1 more lap and he's equal on laps led. For fuck's sake. It is damaged, by the way, on the left side of the front end plate for Newgarden. And
no front
Shep's
wing
lost
for
his
Shep.
entire wing.
Matthew Shepherd,
And-
are you okay? And Michael okay? Oh, for God's
Michael,
sake!
I am wondering, does your team still have front wings, man? And I don't mean it over this race. I mean it over the entirety of the season. We're on round 6, and I'm pretty sure you've already bankrupted your team.
This is like Williams, isn't it? It's just like they've got
Yeah.
no spare parts left. They're actually making a front wing out of paper in the garage at the moment.
Maybe we should call up Alex Albon to drive your seat, Michael.
As Quinn says in the comments, judging by what happened last season, Jacko should have this in the bag. Yeah, you'd think that, but they're all driving like absolute dickheads. There's no chance of anyone getting to the flag at the
Spurs
moment.
is still in this, so, you know. And also Sully in 2nd.
Oh, do you know,
The only reason you won last season was because of that massive crash on the main straight. I have no idea whether that's factual correct.
No, I don't know if that's factual. I have no recollection of this. Right, I don't.
It's fucking funny though.
I cannot remember like any Kia races. They just phase from my memory.
That's bullshit because you know so much more stats than I do.
Oh.
Or is that just research?
Oh, that's research. It's not memory. As
Okay.
Michel's just hit the wall coming around the final corner as well, doing exactly what Newgarden did.
Kidding.
What is wrong with these guys?
I think what you said earlier about Shep is factually correct.
Look how many
one
people.
One more lap to go before the stage,
Right.
by the way.
So Baz has made his safety car stop. So this is his first stop. Right.
No, his second stop.
Oh, well, yes.
His first mandatory,
His first
though.
mandatory. So, what's the second stage? Did we pay attention to what
13.
Okay, so it's not. For God's sake,
So,
what
and
are
I
they
will
putting
have
now?
a look back to lap 7, who won that one, because I had so much shit was going on that I didn't even know it. So
Oh, God, jeez.
that was Sully. Congratulations, Sullivan Lewis.
Oh, right.
I'm so happy to be back.
Do you know, I can't wait. It's gonna. I've got such mixed emotions for when Kia ends at the end of next season because.
Sorry, I'm gonna cut you through here. No, you're not, Quinn. No, you're not. I know you reached out to Michael to ask whether there's a spot available. Shut up. Shut up.
Right. I've been feeling like absolute garbage over the last few days. Proper man flu. And I was
And
thinking,
here you are
here we
looking
go.
at something way worse than that.
This makes me feel way better. Because I'm clearly not the one that's suffering with some sort of disease. Got all of these guys that are attracted to concrete. Right. That 12 of 25. Jesus. Right, I think we might have used up all our safety cars. Because we've had 3 safety cars and a VSC. We may have one left. It's Canada all over
Sick.
again.
Can't wait for it to come out on lap 14.
Was it this bad last season? I swear it wasn't this bad. Maybe it was.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's basically a glorified oval.
The worst part about it is that this is worse than last season, or last race, I should say. Because last race were mostly single car accidents that brought out safety cars. People stuck on the curbs, people crashing out in turn 4, in turn 8, somewhere. Where it's understandable that you have some issues with rear stability and rear grip. These, however, are multiple car incidents.
I can't wait
It's bullshit.
to.
Michael, another stop. No,
Is it another front
11
window?
and lap 12. I can't even keep up on my piece of paper here, man.
No, but it's a set of 2-lap-old mediums because he's got no tyres left.
And now here I am praying for a lap 20 safety car that everybody is on fresh soft tires, and there's Michael on 1 lap old hards because those were the freshest.
I cannot wait until when I do the C5 stats and tally up how many safety cars we've had this season. Because last season we had more than Cup.
After last season, I was honestly like, oh wow, that is. He goes through such lengths to get these stats, and I'm like, I might volunteer to help him out with some. Nope, no,
I wouldn't either.
If you want stats,
it's
you do it
mind-numbing.
yourself.
It's mind-numbing, and I have to sit through these races all over again and count who's led the amount of laps. Do you know? I used to do. I do like who brought out the most amount of yellows, and this season it's going to take days to work that out because it's every single lap. Like, what has happened to everyone over the last game cycle?
What is Ben doing, by the way?
Let's have a look. Oh, I'm flicking. He is currently
7 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Is this Colton Herta in disguise?
He's been overtaken by Bazza. He's gone back past.
Who is allowed to because the gap is too big.
Well, that's a bigger than 10 card links.
Yeah.
So that's a penalty.
That's at least 20 or 30 car lengths. So should that be a triple penalty? Say aye if you're in favor. Aye.
Definitely.
Come on, Gareth.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. So, right, are we even restarting? No, we're still behind the safety car. So so Ben Harrett didn't even need to back up there because he was. It's not like he was extending a gap out to 10 car lengths and then accelerating to get some tyre temperature. He's kind of just forgotten to press the accelerator. Matt Shepard overtakes Matt Rosemond. Sure.
Talking about Newgarden, how washed is he that he could get overtaken by Rossi? Jeez.
Well, at the fake race this weekend, that was just
Yeah, which was, by the way, a great $1 million challenge.
So-
The winner got
so boring.
$500,000, and the total prize pot was 1.78 something million. So great name, IndyCar. Also great effort.
yeah. Really enjoyed the fact that
I'm so happy
could,
you took a country club, a racing country club's track to do an actual race on.
yeah. Or at least it wasn't for points, because that was not fun. It was just.
Oh man, if it was for points, at least we would have seen some interesting strategy.
I'd
But-
understand
because
it if it was a good track, but it just wasn't a very good track.
Yeah, the tire deck is massive. So if you have a guaranteed mid race caution, you're just gonna save the tires. Apparently, it still wasn't the quickest because Palou and McLaughlin just walked away with it. But anyway,
Talking about tires.
You need hard-working tires for a hard-earned victory.
Jess, Jacko, and Harry will be
For
happy
turns 1 to
that they
4.
can pit. Jacko, by the way, picking up a stage point. Well done, Jacko.
Handling your 9 to 5. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
I lost track of the laps led, so Michael, have fun.
Right. So, are we going green at any point? There we go. Jacko.
I can't. Oh, there's gaps forming. I can't wait for this to be a mess again.
Everyone's gonna come into the penultimate corner far too quickly. Oh no, we're all somewhat
That's gonna happen on
navigating
that
it.
straight then, though.
Let's go on board with Jess for the restart. I'm going to assume Jacko knows what he's doing. Is he going to go as early as he went last time? Is he going to wait a little bit later? Of course, Harry Collier, the man. So it's net P1, 2, 3 for these guys. Into the box comes Fozzie. He's going to lead a lap doing so. Maybe. Nope, not quite, because Jacko's got us restarted. Jess has been left for dust and already overtaken by Liam. Liam's probably going to have to give that one back, but no doubt he won't. What a gentleman. Jacko is now fighting off Risky. Of course, Risky on the soft tyres. And Risky's going to try and go to the inside on. Push to pass down the inside of Jacko. This move, he's got past Harry. He's now going to go past Jacko, surely into the right-hander. And he does so. Jacko is dropped down to P2. Risky needs to make use of these tyres in the early stages of this stint, because, of course, he's going to have to come in again to change them. Jacko, of course, will be running softs in his final stint, so unless Sully's going for another set of softs, which he might do, then, of course, you can see behind, that was a slight error there from Harry, and that's going to put him under threat from Michel. In fact, Harry runs a little bit wide. That means he's going to sweep back across. That's not good for your tyre temps, but Michel, who's been in the wars, he's decided to collect a number of cars and a number of walls. He's now going to go down the inside of Harry, of course, going down the strip. Evil's behind him. He's going to try and make it 3 wide. Let's see if he does it successfully. Has to get off the throttle. Goes down past Harry. Cuts back across. That's how crashes happen. And behind, we've got cars scattered all over the track. There's going to be a crash here at some point. There we go. There's someone disappearing off into the runoff. And there is a front wing. And there is a second front wing. That is Bazza with no front wing. I believe that's Michael taking more damage as well. Is it? I think it is. He's missing an end plate. He is missing an end plate. Jess goes wide. That's going to open the door for a couple of cars. That is down the inside goes Funky. So Michael taking the scenic route off the exit of turn 1. Goes down the inside of Jess. But of course is missing an end plate, so we'll be suffering with a little bit of front end downforce. Into the pits comes Jacko, Evil, Michel, Bazza and New Garden. New wings for a couple of them, as we've already got a bit of a gap between Shep and Fozzie after the tangle on the last lap.
Yeah, that was some great stuff going on with Michel actually decided to be sensible for a change. Don't expect that from him often. Matt Shep, 5 seconds for corner cutting. We all want to appreciate the sphere, but don't do it during a race.
Yeah, that's called ignoring the chicane, I think. So he takes 5 seconds for that. As Michel's car looks like it just wants to spit him out of the seat, because every time he comes out of a acceleration zone, his back end is just getting as loose as his usually. There's a joke in there somewhere that was far too easy for me to open. But let's go back up to Dan Price. He is now on the back of Florian Mayer, of course, Florian, who is on his Joker, but I think has already sacrificed it. Yes, he has. There is a lot of debris from someone. I think that's Ben Harrett that's just clattered the wall. Sprayed front wing everywhere. Everyone ran over it. Everyone's got away with it. It is Ben Harrett that's going to come in for a front wing. What has happened to Ben Harrett? As Yuri has rejoined us, he's gone quiet, and you haven't heard him for a while. Might be
Probably
good.
for the better.
Yeah. What happened? I didn't even see you leave.
Really?
No.
I was watching the stream and I could even see it, man.
Oh no.
Pay attention.
Oh, I don't pay attention. I barely pay attention to the racing.
There's nothing to pay attention to be fair.
No, not
most of the time. Although I must say, Ben Harrett's downfall is very amusing to watch.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that was all about. As Risky now leading, Florian and Dan Price are P2 and P3. OKK, after everything he's gone through, is P4, and he must have not. He hasn't made his second stop yet. Second mandatory hasn't come yet. Matt Shepard is due to make his second mandatory. So now, out of the people that have made all their mandatories, it's Dustin, Jacko, and Liam. So positions have altered in all of that. So Dustin's come out of it quite well, but he's got Jacko with DRS behind. Liam is there into the box. Is that Frankie slowing? No, he's just been overtaken. So dropping down behind Daniel as they come out of the penultimate corner. Will either one of them pit? Sully does. These two stay out on the hard tyres. They're going to try and run it to the end and use these hards as long as possible. Actually gets off the throttle there, so clearly using a little bit of his small, smooth brain to realise that there's a DRS zone coming up and that he might be able to utilise it to make the overtake here. So there you go. Rear flap opens on that rear wing. But he's not quite close enough unless it's going to be a bit of a send. Nope, gets off the throttle once again. So not pushing as hard as he possibly could be. As Evil goes past Fozzie, and in the same position, on the same corner, is going to try and look at Jacko. Doesn't quite get the move done, but moves up onto P7 on circuit. We've got a bit of, I say Kia field spread. Not too bad at the moment.
It's not as bad as we've usually seen.
It's not too bad. But of course, I think we might be running to the end from here because I don't think we've got any more room for safety cars. So it's going to have to be, as OKK is pointing in the wrong direction and pulls. Don't watch out, Michael.
Double OKK.
Right, off he goes.
Strikes again.
That's even before he gets the strip. Goes down into the runoff area. So behind him is Jess and Ben Harrett. Jacko has just been dropped down behind Liam. So Quinn's prediction of Jacko's got this in the bag was about as correct as his prediction of Luton being able to stay in the Premier League. As he...
I've got a nice update for you. Matt Shepard without a front wing yet again.
I would say water's wet, but... Right, into the box. Well, at least that gets his second stop out the way.
Yeah,
so,
I believe everyone now has completed their strategy.
Right, waiting. Is that even? I don't think that's a 5-second penalty. Oh no, it was a 5-second penalty as well. So he takes a 5-second penalty, a front wing change and a tyre change all in one go. Gotta love to see that. Jacko gets past Liam. So Jacko back up to P4. So it is Risky that is currently holding P3. But so the Jokers are the two guys up in front. So they only technically needed to make one stop, and they have done so. So we've currently got Florian from Dan Price from Risky. Risky needs to use these medium tyres now to get the advantage on the guys on hards. Of course, he's got 6 laps to do so. And he's...
I'd like to interrupt you here. I found out that Matt Shepard is allergic to front wings. He didn't last 4 turns with his last one.
Are you going to tell me that?
Fresh set of softs. Into the bin.
Oh, what's happened to us, not to them? I mean,
I'm pretty sure you said that he was pretty okay when he's driving with competent drivers. He just doesn't turn out to be one of them.
I genuinely, I think I'm onto something. Right, Jacko. Now he's been trading positions with Liam. Is he playing the smart game? Yes, he's not using too much battery, whereas Liam, not so smart. Jacko, don't force the move. You can kind of sit with Liam here. It looks as though the race win is just out of reach for yourself, unless we get another safety car. Into the box comes Michel. He will go on to a set of softs to take him to the end. So, as Fozzie smashes into the wall, gets away with it. Unless this is all a visual glitch, because these guys are twatting the walls on exit on some of them. But Jacko, that's a block as Liam cuts across him, and then Jacko has to jump off the throttle, and that's going to put him out.
At least
of
they're
whack.
not both going wide.
As I think that is Mr. Roseman pointing in the wrong direction and without a front wing. So he's not only, I mean, that's not only missing turn 1. That's also driving the wrong way. No, Matt, that's the wrong way. You quite literally driven the wrong way. Oh,
I see what it is. I see what it is. It is green cars and front. Oh, buzzer! Green cars and an allergic reaction to front wings.
Right, Michel's just driven over Bazza's front wing. We don't
Please
have
a rear puncture.
Yeah, I don't think that he's got a puncture from that, but he was lucky because Bazza had
How
thrown it all.
comes that when they drive over debris, they get fuck all, and when we drive
I
over
know.
debris, it's death.
It's a fix, isn't it? Right, so Newgarden's having to do a lap without that wing. Let's go back to. I mean, Matt managed to go so deep into the first corner. It's almost like he didn't brake because the runoff at the end of turn 1, or like for turn 1, is pretty extensive. He then returned on circuit and completely lost where he was and decided to drive back towards the start finish line.
He is a little older, bless him.
So that's Bazza out of the race. Shep and Newgarden are playing a game of who can get lost the most, as Newgarden then picks up 3 seconds for corner cutting. Not quite sure where he would have picked that one up there, but the Risky's now less than a second behind Daniel. So
for real?
Yeah, so he's made up 5 seconds.
No, from my point of view, I thought it looked like that was letting it by.
Oh well. He does get the position, so that's Risky, who of course has already made his way into the playoffs. So,
see, this is tactic masterclass. He's gonna fly by now.
So these guys all at the front, they have already advanced. It's Jacko that is the next one on the list that hasn't. If only someone had let him win last week.
Should have been quicker.
That is into the wall. I say go into the wall. Why are people just not braking for these corners? That was Dustin before we got to the strip. We've got another yellow flag out. Into the pit lane is both Shep and Matt Rosemond.
Shep again!
They're about to... Well, he must have had no front wing. Surely.
Yes, I just saw the guy walk back into the pits with a nose scarf. For fuck's sake, Shep.
They're going to come out right in front of him. In fact, Rosemond lets them go. I was going to say he's going to come right into the middle of the battle between Risky and Dan. But Risky did get retaken on that lap, so he did lose a little bit of time. Lap 22 of 25, so 3.5 laps left to go. As Risky's got to make up 2 seconds on Florian to take his second win on the season. Into the box comes Dustin. He was missing a front wing. As the cars make their way through the sphere chicane. And God, they didn't half want to test us, as there's a yellow flag out for
Liam and Jacko.
Could be literally anyone. Liam's now fallen into the clutches of Ben Harrett, who's recovering from driving like a Kia driver. Honestly, this is like The Last of Us, isn't it? You come down to Kia and you drive like a Kia driver. It's some sort of brain fungus. And Ben who looks like he hasn't got the right setup on because the car just doesn't want to point in the right direction, but it is right on the back of Liam now. Watch out because Liam does like to make interesting defensive positions, but clears him, goes back past. Liam sits in his slipstream, doesn't use any battery because he can't really afford to at this point, but you can hear the engine notes peaking there as they hit the limiter as he falls back behind. So Harry Collier now starting to close in, and he's within a 1 second window of the 2 cars in front, so he'll have the benefit of DRS. Sully is now right on the back of Florian for the lead of this one.
Such a tighter line.
Yeah, I know. It's what happens when you've got 5 lap old mediums versus... to be fair, the hards weren't feeling that bad, but it's almost just a completely different choice of line. So we've got a lovely little battle here between the top 2. Behind, we've got Newgarden and... who's that? Newgarden and
Shep.
Is it Shep that are fighting over 12? No, it can't be because they're right next to each other. So I think Newgarden must be following someone else.
Oh, Newgarden is right behind Dan.
So, oh yeah, so he is. So Newgarden trying to unlap himself. Sully is... Sullivan, you do not need to force this. You got plenty of racing left to go. Just
watch at Ben last season. The proper Ben Shaw, not Ben Spurs.
What, the washed one, the one that
yeah.
is
You want to have a funny update?
Go for it.
You've seen... Oh no, never mind. We'll go with Sully as he is closing in on Florian and decides to make the move to the inside. Florian doesn't defend, knowing that he doesn't have the tires. Or the idea that he'll get him back. Not with that exit, though. So, I guess it's fun fact time after all. Do you know who has the most pit stop this race, without looking?
It's going to be a challenge between Newgarden and Shep and OKK, surely.
Well, that is true, but it's not Shep who is allergic to front wings. It is not Newgarden who is allergic to braking. It's actually Michael, who's still 16 seconds ahead of the pair of them.
Newgarden will say it's because he doesn't play the game because he's too hard working rebuilding parts for Lance Stroll after his crashes. But, well, that's no excuse. Honestly, I swear that the Kia, they never used to be this inconsistent. Like,
nope.
It's... Something has happened. What happened to you guys? Jess now back in Liam.
I know what they blame. I know who they'll blame. It's the people who are... who made the calendars, as Liam get by Jess indeed. Probably helped a bit due to...
if they think this calendar's bad, wait until the final season, because I've got a doozy.
Half of them won't be racing it. Nice one, Liam.
That is true. We are going all... well, I can't. I'm not going to give it away just yet, but... let's just say...
You might upset some people.
Yeah, let's just say that Kia will be a much more interesting watch next season. Liam is driving like he wants to retire Jess. So Jess kind of just needs to keep ahead and just get past him here.
And Jess is driving like she doesn't care about her ERS. Trying to get around the outside in that section there.
Right, you don't need to use it, Jess. You don't need to use your battery. You don't need to use it. You've got DRS.
Well, at least they're on equal ERS, so that helps, I guess. Final lap, Gareth. We're almost there.
Oh, is it? Oh, thank God for that. Right. Alright, Jess has made the position back. Ben Harriet. Oh, yellow flag's out for God's sake. Matthew.
That's not Matthew. Oh, that is Matthew. That's a different Matthew, though. Let's see. Does he still have his front wing? Come on, camera.
Yes, he does, and both end plates.
Wow.
So Jess and Liam changing positions again. Jess has got a 3-second time penalty, I believe. So
5.
Oh, is it 5? So they are fighting for position, but of course, what's Liam going to do here? Is he going to... Jess needs to commit to the overtake, because all that's going to happen there is he's just going to lose time. Because what they're doing at the moment, whilst they're kind of... Yes, it's nice to kind of do all this sort of side by side, but if Jess got a 5-second time penalty, she's going to lose a position to Michel because he's catching a pretty quick rate of knots. But who cares? Let's go on board with Sullivan Lewis as you needed to do one more lap one more to get points. Sullivan, final 2 corners for him. Gets it out. Puts the push to pass on because he's pushing hard. Hopefully he puts it in the wall because that would be hilarious. But if not, it is Sullivan Lewis to the line. His second race win on the season. He comes across taking P1. It is Florian Mayer on his Joker, P2. Dan Price, P3 for him. These guys, of course, and the Jokers, P2 and P3. Jacko is going to come home in a pretty handy P4 for his chances of getting into the playoffs. Of course, one more race in the regular season. One more race, two more races. 2 more races in the regular season.
2, for fuck's sake.
So there's that time penalty. Fozzie is... so Jess ended up losing to Michelle there. So she can thank Liam for that rather than him just letting her go. So
You can also thank yourself for that. Shouldn't have fought it.
I don't know what they were doing. But that is points lost for Jess, unfortunately. Dustin comes home in P10. Michael is going to finish the race, which, to his credit, was looking more and more unlikely as the race went on. Newgarden has already finished the race. I'm pretty sure he did about 3 laps and about 17 pit stops. But Michael will finish on the lead lap somehow after, as you say, making...
The most amount of pit stops. 6.
7.
7 actually.
7
Fucking
stops.
hell.
So I think he equals the Kia record there.
And also Knighton's record in Monaco, right?
I think so. So that is Michael's completion of the race, and time for us to once again enjoy a stiff drink after this. Harry Collier finished the race. I don't think I called him crossing the line, unfortunately. Gets the make me feel good driver of the day. But it is Sully that is your race winner once again on the season, as he is followed home by the German Florian and by Daniel P. Huilnut, Dan Price. As look at those dead behind the eyes guys that are clearly all spaced out on acid watching Sully. As there's not even any music playing. It's completely deathly silent on the podium. And why is he? There's just a bloke up there in a t-shirt. He's not even anyone's. He's got a radio on his back. He's just brought a security guard up with him.
How nice of Sully to do that.
He just pulled someone.
We didn't mention the the Tesco's club card shootout throughout the entire event. So I'll have your winners here. It's Harry who beats Matt Shepard, it's Florian who beats Dustin, it's Sully who beats Jacko, and it's Buzza who beats Jake. And I'm really impressed by Buzza's result there.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Yeah. So Buzza goes through by not finishing the race. So
only because Jake didn't start.
Exactly. So that is how you advance. Hopefully, we'll actually have a graphic for you next week, and we can put it up on stream. If only
we did. You just lacked the effort to put it in.
No, I can only put them up once before the streams start. If I start clicking around on OBS, it's just gonna you'll see all sorts of screens happening. So.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to share those kind of screens.
No, well, yeah, I don't know.
Not on YouTube, at least. Maybe on a different orange hub.
I don't think there's anything as bad as what we've seen on screen during the last 45 minutes or so. But that is Las Vegas done. Another race here in Kia done. So, well, next week we go to Yuri's favourite track.
Yeah, a little birdie told me that I'm racing.
Absolutely
that
fucking
betting
not.
Another Dutch Grand Prix victory?
No, yeah, absolutely not. I turn off the stream every time.
Oh, make it happen. Probably for the better.
Right.
I'm racing. Confirmed.
Right. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for getting through it. I appreciate you, most of you, some of you. Actually, I don't appreciate any of you. Screw you all. Thank you for joining me, Yuri, and at least kind of sitting there and sort of like as we have our therapy session during Kia.
Yeah, next time we'll talk about our shortcomings.
Well, yeah.
Knowing you, you'd probably say that you don't have any.
Well, it depends. We're talking medical, physical.
Well, you can't deny medical anymore.
That is true. Right. Thanks for joining us, guys. And in the way that we started during the play-in music, here is some play-out music, just celebrating the fact that you made it through this. So good night, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday. Do join us on Thursday night for the Cup Series, some actual proper racing. But from Yuri and I, we'll see you next Tuesday.
See ya, losers. Join in on Thursday.